Good morning, good morning. I had to get out of the last one. It said my phone was rotated, but it wasn't. So whenever it said it was in landscape, it was in portrait. So it was messing everything up. The chat was going this way, and then you all said I was sideways. And then when I flipped it over, so anyway, I had to start a new one. I'll fix all the pictures and everything like that. So we'll give some time waiting for everybody to come in. Make sure you tell everyone in the other one that we're in this one now. I do appreciate it. Let me go back to my channel here. Hope everyone's having a beautiful Sunday morning, and I know it is here in West Tennessee. Hey, Lauren. Hey, Kevin, Lazy Pond Farm. Sorry, Kevin, I had to redo it. My phone was messing up. So come on in, everybody. Come on in. There's Grandma Carol in the background walking her dog. So she's like, oh no, she's in her robe. That's pretty funny. Out there walking the dogs. Hey, Kevin. All right, let me get my chat up here so I can see what's going on. 1 second. Sure hope everyone's made it through the storms last night. That was pretty bad. I know winds like 60 mile an hour here, but you know we made it through all right. Let's see here. All right, get my chat up. Pop that out. Give a little time for everyone to show up to this new one. I hate when I screw things up like that. I had everything all set up out here an hour this morning, and hour before the start time, and I was chatting with Linda and Kevin and Lauren, excuse me, and then when I went to go, and I saw my view here, everything looked good, and then when I went to go live, it said I had the portrait instead of landscape, and I'm like, no. So I closed it, opened it back up, and so I ended up having to reboot the phone and clear the software out, and now it's working. So, but I had to start a new live stream. That's what unfortunate, because everyone's live stream, the reminder was on the other one, but hopefully they'll get a pop-up saying I'm live again and see this one. So Payne family's in here. Awesome. Peanut Peppers, Cooper Family Homestead. So Kevin from Lazy Pond Farm, Lauren, Homesteading Northern Michigan. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. No snow here like you got up there, huh? That's crazy, isn't it? Cooper Family Homestead doing well, getting ready for our Eagle Ridge Live later. Awesome. Can't wait, man. It's going to be some good stuff. Now this is, our different live. This is a different live. This is not RidgeLife normal live. Normally on Sundays, I do a Lessons from the Ridge, a pre-recorded Bible verse in a setting. And for the last 2 Sundays, I did lives. I did live with a preacher, and I did a live prayer request. Just during this pandemic, I just thought it would be more appropriate to be live and in the moment. And if anybody has any immediate prayer needs, requests, we get those out there. And I also have some, so last week was Bible verses on prayer, and this week is what the Christian's role is during this pandemic. And of course, we'll take all prayer requests. Yes, the weather is beautiful here. It was about 80 degrees yesterday, and very, very windy. Storms came through last night. Now it's in the 50s. In the sun, it feels like it's 70, but it's just beautiful. Gonna get some more yard work done and things around. I gotta get more barn work. So we've been really busy this week while in quarantine. I had vacation already set up for this week for spring break. Of course, we didn't go anywhere, so we just we sat here. Cooper family says it's disgusting here again. Yeah, I know. We haven't had more than a day and a half without rain, I think, since Christmas. Yeah, that's crazy. Isn't that crazy? I think it's rained at least within 3 days. The third day since Christmas. Every single time. It's killing the log home build. We don't have the foundation in. We don't have the ground leveled yet. Just killing it. Let's get some more time for people to come on in here. See what we got going in. Yeah, Payne family says they're tired of the wind and the rain also. Me for sure. All right, David. Oh yeah, good. Thanks, David. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with it earlier. It's just the software in the phone just didn't recognize. I made sure that the auto rotate wasn't selected. Or the lock rotate. So I don't know. But it's working now. The devil wants to impede you on a Sunday. Anytime you're going to get into the lessons, he wants to block it. So we overpowered him. He's behind us. All right. Just a little more time for people to figure out. I got a new live here. People are still probably waiting on the other one. If anybody still has the other one, it should already be closed out now, but make sure you tell everybody that we're over here. I've got a few things we're going to go over, and I did just find out my mom, or my dad and my stepmom up in Connecticut. They're about 35, 45 miles outside of New York City. They're in Wilton, Connecticut. They have COVID-19. Test came back positive. I just found out just moments ago as we were sitting here. My dad's been sick for a little while, and sore throat, cough, all that, and mild fever. And then my stepmom, she's a nurse, and she started having symptoms, and she's got asthma. So we have to really pray for her that this doesn't, because it's a respiratory disease, right? So my dad and stepmom tested positive. Dad, they said 99% chance. They both got it, and so please send out prayers for Tom and Maddie Kiska. Tom and Maddie Kiska. And all the family up there in Connecticut. It's tough. It was my dad's birthday, and everyone had to do it teleconference, because all the little grandkids and everything, no one wanted to go over because they were sick. So he had to teleconference his birthday. So, and I got to talk to him remotely from way down here in Tennessee. So, hey, San Joaquin Transparency. There's the guy right there, single-handedly responsible for RidgeLife going from 1,200 subscribers to 1,800 subscribers in 2.5 days. So thank you, San Joaquin. You're doing a great job out there. I've been following your old channels. You've had new channels with San Joaquin Transparency, San Joaquin News, San Joaquin Valley Transparency. All of them great. You're doing good things out there. You're not being disrespectful. You're calling out lawbreakers where they break the law, and hypocrisy and injustice. So thank you very much. I do appreciate it, and thanks for what you've done to RidgeLife. My channel isn't about keeping those things in check, but it is about American patriotism, and that's a part of it. That is part of being a patriot, I believe. So thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that very much. Logan Kidder, good to see you this morning. No problem. I had a problem with my live stream, so you're not late because we had to restart it because I had an issue on my end. So good to see you. Hopefully more people can come on in here this morning. And this is not my normal live stream. This is a Sunday lessons. Normally these are pre-recorded lessons on Sundays, Bible verses and kind of things. Excuse me. I'm just getting over chest cold as well. But I wanted to do a live, like we've done the last 2 Sundays now because of this pandemic thing. So it'll be time for a prayer request. So if you have any friends or immediate family that have COVID-19 or are being affected by it, loss of job, put it out here. Put it out here. We're all friends and family here, and we'll pray for it. And I'm going to end this one in prayer. So anything that gets talked about, I'll shoot them out there at the end. Sam King says, and you're very welcome. Sorry to hear about your bad news, and your parents are my prayers. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. They don't feel too bad. Luckily they say if it hits you mildly in the beginning that you probably won't elevate to that next level. But you are positive and you are communicable. But the people that it hits them hard in the lungs right off the bat, those are the ones that usually end up intensive care. That's what we're hoping, that my dad and stepmom, they end up being okay. Chasing America, hey, good to see you. We have 2 very close friends waiting on results. And I was surprised how long the results take. It was, I think, 48 hours before you get your results. I guess, and that actually is pretty quick compared to how it used to be. But yeah, they had to sit in agony waiting for to find out they were positive for 2 days. Awesome. Thank y'all. Ooh, yeah, we got a little bit of wind coming up here. If the sun starts, excuse me, blocking the camera or causing some craziness, let me know, because as the sun moves, I have to adjust everything here. But it is such a beautiful day, and I'm just glad I got to sit out here with everybody. I was hoping, I probably screwed up with the live chat. Less people in here now because I had to make the new one. But see, David Holding says, my family in New York has been crazy busy with farmers markets and having the store open 7 days a week. So if we can pray for them to stay protected, increase business. Absolutely, yeah. I appreciate them doing doing that because, that people still have to eat, and it's hard to get out and get food in a manner where it doesn't congregate you. Riley Homestead was talking about the other day going down a shopping superstore or a grocery store, and you turn the corner and there's more than 10 people coalesced in one area getting food, and you're like, more than 10 people. It's just difficult. So thank you to all the grocery store workers and the restaurant workers that are staying open to do the drive-throughs. I do appreciate y'all, and the farmers and the truckers. And I'm an essential worker, believe it or not, in the steel industry. You got to have steel for the infrastructure and all those things. So I'll be going back to work Monday. But all the essential workers, I appreciate you. Stay safe out there. Make sure you're doing what it takes to stay safe. And that kind of gets us into today's lessons from the Ridge. I'm going to walk through here one more time. USA Watcher Cop, hey, what's up, man? Man, for all the new people that came over from San Joaquin Valley, if you're new to this is I do a special lessons from the Ridge on Sunday. Normally it's pre-recorded, but today we're doing live because of the pandemic. It's a Bible thing. It's about prayer. It's about taking care of your neighbor. This is not what we normally do on RidgeLife. So if you're coming here and you go, hey, this dude's a Bible fanatic, evangelist or something. No, I'm not. I do love the Bible. I do love Jesus. It's not what RidgeLife's about, but it is what I'm about. So it kind of indirectly is. So Monday, through Friday, you'll hear me talking good of my Savior, and but I don't pray. I don't proselytize throughout the week unless someone needs it. If someone needs it, I'm there for it. I'll witness to them. But that's not what we're always about. But definitely today, I think the country needs prayer. Country needs family. Country needs community, and that's what we're doing. So part of being a patriot is loving your neighbor, in my opinion, because America is the greatest country in the world, and how can we continue to be the greatest country in the world if we don't love one another and stay that way? So for all you guys from San Joaquin Valley that came over here, I sure appreciate you. Stick around if you can. I'll have a lot more. I work in Memphis all the time, so unfortunately, that's just the state of things. But out here in the country, we have chickens, we have dogs, and we have hopefully sheep soon, right, Lauren and Kevin? We have barn and tractor and four-wheelers and just all that fun stuff. So if that's something you're not used to and you want to see more of it, come on, keep watching us. Stay sub to RidgeLife. So I would like to talk about the second lessons of the pandemic. Last week we talked about prayer, and this week I want to talk about what it means to be a Christian during this time. And while I'm talking, I'm going to talk, and then we're going to talk. I'm going to read some chat here. If you have things that pop in your head, a Bible verse, or just a topic that is applicable to what Christians need to be doing during this time, shoot it out there on the chat window there, and we'll talk about it. Y'all can talk about it in the background. I'll jump in there occasionally. So just keep each other talking here, and I'm going to read this in just a second. Got to clear my throat. I apologize. The chest cold's really been getting me this week. Good old sheep. That's right. I gotta move the screen here a little bit, everybody. Apologize. The sun is starting to block it. All right. So I got a few little notes here. So with this pandemic and the Christian life, I believe serving and loving others as Christ himself served us through his death and resurrection is central to our faith, even when it involves personal risk and cost. That's what I hope this crisis will reveal in Christians. And personal risk and cost, that's being a patriot, being a lover of country, a lover of God, a lover of family. There's personal risk in every bit of that. When someone attacks your family, you protect them. There's personal risk there. When someone attacks your country, you go to war for it. There's personal risk there. And then when someone attacks your faith, there's personal risk there, and you can be harmed in that way. Not spiritual. Your spiritual life is protected, but your walk on this earth is not protected. We will suffer trials and tribulations. We can't forget the older folks that may not be as connected through social media. If we can visit if we can't visit to prevent the spread, we need to call. Man, Kevin, I got that written down right here. You're right on the money. You're ahead of the game here, brother. So keep it up. Keep talking like that. And that's exactly what I want to talk about. So it's social, not relational distancing. One way we do that is to care for one another, all of us, But let me speak to Christians for a moment because we may need extra reminding. Yes, social distancing is the news of the day, and it should be. However, if we end up distanced from one another, we will be worse off, not better. The point is simple. Social distancing is necessary. Relational distancing is not. Let's seize the opportunity to check on our neighbors. Let's build a relational bridge when the virus wants to create a social moat. So bridge where there's a moat. Let's show who we really are as Christians in our day. Let this be our moment. So, and that's really the point of me doing these lives here on these Sundays during this pandemic thing is I want to be a relational bridge between those, excuse me, that love Christ, love our country, love our family, and those that are suffering this pandemic that don't love God and love their country. We still love you. Just because you don't love God doesn't mean we don't love you. God loves you. And if God loves you, we should love you as well, even though you don't love God. You don't love us probably, but we're not like that. That's the thing Christians got to remember. We're not like that. You can't be like that. You have to love your fellow man, even the ones that disagree with you. But you uphold the law. You uphold your belief system. You uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. You have to. That's the thing. The Bible, the Constitution, and the family values. Those are the things. Bible, Constitution, family values. If you are following those things, your life is going to be a pretty good life. Yeah, you'll be attacked from this and that, but you've got what it takes to get through it. I promise you. Let's see. Food, forest, permaculture. Hey, good morning. Come on in, people. Just loving one another here, talking about how we can get through this pandemic as lovers of one another. Let's see what else we have going on here. Oh, thank you, San Joaquin. I appreciate that. Cooper Family Homestead. So we've been checking on our older neighbors. We can't forget them. Absolutely. And if you have eggs, if you raise chickens, take a dozen eggs over. Leave them on their porch step. They can disinfect them, wash them however they want. If they're afraid of the virus. If you've got dairy cows, there's milk and meat. If it keeps them from having to get out into the grocery store, and you're 85 years old, help them out. If you make bread, if you're baking bread, bake them some bread, stick it on their doorstep, let them know you're doing it, and that way they can get it and keep them from having to go to the grocery store. It really is important. It really, really is important to you to do that as a neighbor. Let's see. Kevin says, my grandparents have someone from the immediate family over every day. We haven't been there in 2 weeks. I've started calling them just to check in and chat and do anything I can for them. Yeah, because see, that's the thing. Your family and your friends, they need our relational connecting, but we can't go visit them like we did because we'll keep transmitting this. It's so prevalent. It's so because you don't have the symptoms for so long, you transmit it so easily. That's why it's worse than the flu. Now the mortality rate, is going along the lines with the flu. So many more people die of the flu, but so many more people get the flu. But it's spreading so quickly because with the flu, you get symptoms, you're communicable. With this, you're communicable, you don't have symptoms, you get symptoms, it's too late, you've already given it to 100 people, who give it to 1,000, who give it to 10,000. That's the exponential growth of this thing. So you can't, like my kids live 90 miles away. I want to go visit my kids, and I have other kids live 120 miles away. I want to go visit them. And my granddaughter, I'm on vacation. I love to go visit my granddaughter. I can't do that right now. Because my mom's here, and I don't want me bringing back germs to get her sick, and so keeping the phones open, the text. If you're not a texter and your kids text, and you're not texting your kids, you need to learn to text because that's what they're doing, and you need to stay in touch with your kids. Don't make sure they know not to go out and doing all this crazy stuff. In Tennessee, 21 to 30-year-olds are the hardest hit for the COVID-19 virus in Tennessee. 21-year-olds to 30-year-olds. And the reason I believe that is not because their immune systems are more susceptible to it or they're this, that, or the other. It's because they're not taking precautions. They're living their life like it was 3 weeks ago, and they're not taking the precautions to stop the spread of this. So 21 to 30-year-olds in Tennessee are the worst hit. Look it up. It's on CDC website or on the Tennessee.gov's health website. All right, David says, I know many in New York are affected right now. My cousins keep telling me it's worse than the news. Yeah, my dad and stepmom have it, and they're just outside New York City in Connecticut, and Connecticut's hard, but New York City, that whole New York State, lower New York is hit rough. Sanitize things coming to your house. That's right. There's all kinds of things you can do. All kinds of things you can do. All right. So we talked about social, not social, not relational distancing. Now we're talking about caring for the vulnerable. Just like what Kevin was saying earlier, caring for the vulnerable. The Christian church is called to sacrificially care for the vulnerable because, as Scripture reminds us, Christ first loved us and died for us that we might be forgiven and reconciled to God. We love others because we understand just how much God has done for us and how He calls us to live in light of that love. That is what Christians were known for centuries ago, caring for others. That's not always been the case, but it has often been. Now, yet today, we have been known for being more about ourselves than our neighbors. And I'm hoping that changes, and it needs to change fast. You see, this message of caring for others is laced throughout Scripture and central to the very fabric of the Christian faith. In the Bible, we find commandments like bearing one another's burdens in Galatians 6:2. For the Christian, how well we endure it in sacrificially serving the vulnerable is one of the greatest indicators of how deeply we have understood what Christ has done for us. The Bible's teachings don't leave any wiggle room about who to serve. In one of the most famous parables, Jesus uses a Samaritan to unpack how we're to love even those we might otherwise see as our cultural enemies. In essence, how well we are able to love others is a direct indication of how well we know Christ and what He has done for us. At its most basic level, it means caring for others in their times of need. At a time of partisanship and politicization, the gospel gives us only one condition: serving the hurting. And we are about to have a great opportunity to do that with this pandemic. If you're overlooking this opportunity as a Christian to do God's will, you're messing up. I promise you, you're messing up. If you're being selfish, and a lot of Christians are seen as hypocritical and selfish, and that's got to change. It really does. It has to change. We have to be the Christ of the Christians of the Bible of Christ's time, where we sacrifice all for the good of the few that need to hear Him, because we've already been given the gift. We've already been given the gift. We need to share that gift. And if it doesn't just mean sharing the word, of course, we're going to do that through our lives, but we need to share the gift through our actions as well. Now, you don't get saved by works, but works reflect your salvation, I promise you. Paige Family Homestead, hey, our journey back. Good to see you, brother. And sister, sorry, Paige. Good morning. Let's see if I'm missing anything in here. Keep talking, guys. I appreciate y'all sitting through, and I apologize for this morning how the chats got swapped. Barbara, I apologize for not being able to pronounce your last name. Barbara, I hope you're doing well. You're in Italy. I love Italy. I've been to Italy. It's a wonderful country. I have 2 Italian motorcycles, love them to death. We have an Italian dog, Italian Mastiff, Cane Corso. So I hope you're doing well in Italy. I know you've been so hard hit. I can't wait for y'all to hit that peak and start coming down in your case rates. I mean, you may already be there now. I've been not in the news too much recently, but Barbara, I hope you're doing well. I pray you're doing well. Hope all of your family are well. You're staying safe in Italy. Italy, in case you guys don't know, Italy got hit hard by this. The way their social system is, their government system, and the reactions that were taken to the initial influx of the disease hit them pretty hard. I mean, hit them very, very hard. So please pray for Italy. I gotta adjust my screen here, everybody. Alrighty. So please pray for Italy. Denmark, yeah, the whole European Union is getting hit pretty hard. Oh, excuse me. Let's see, Chasing America. Okay, continue to make sure you're checking out all the channels. There's a lot of new channels probably coming here today. 14 people in here, so thanks to Joaquin Valley Transparency, they brought a bunch of new people over to RidgeLife, and trying to figure out what RidgeLife is. We do all kinds of things. This is not what we do normally, but we do all kinds of things. So there might be a bunch of channels in there you haven't checked out before. Check them out, subscribe, watch videos, like, hit the notification bells, share the love. If you're still here listening to this, you probably got something in common. And I hope that you can love one another for that. And yes, Will, hey, good to see you, Will. And prayers for Italy, please, prayers for Italy. And I've been to Denmark. I love Denmark. I love the whole, that whole area. There's so much history and tradition there. I love all the old buildings that survived the World War II. So Europe is just a beautiful, beautiful place. So we talked about increasing our relational distancing and decreasing our relational distancing while we're increasing our social distancing. We talked about caring for those who really need it. And then who are we really? Stepping back for a moment, it's worth asking why the Christian church has and is now again called to live in such a sacrificial way. The answer, in part, is the description of Christians as citizens of heaven in Philippians 3:20. That is, our hope is not in this life, but in the one to come. While everyone is good at talking in times of peace, moments of crisis define who we truly are and what we truly believe. They reveal, in one famous example, the church historian Eusebius describes a 4th century epidemic that swept through the Roman Empire. Far from fleeing the cities or shutting off their homes from others, Eusebius records that all day long Christians tended to the dying and to the burial countless numbers with no one to care for them. Others gathered around from all parts of the city, and a multitude of those withered from famine and distributed bread to them all. As a result, Eusebius concludes, the Christians' deeds were on everyone's lips, and they glorified the God of the Christians. Faced with what was likely a far more worse pandemic than our own, 4th century Christians modeled a faith that is truly compelling. That pandemic revealed who Christians really were. This one probably will do so as well. Who are we? Followers of Jesus in 2020? Are we driven by a desire for political power and gain? Or will we be those who show and share the love of Jesus in the midst of this now growing crisis? We will know soon. Masks will run out and masks will come down. Perhaps it's time to take off anyway and show who Christians really are. So I pray we will look more like Jesus and less like our worst impulses. It's time to take off the mask, brothers and sisters. So there's a lot to learn from history. That pandemic in the 4th century, so much worse than what we've going on now as far as mortality. And Christians were doing the right things. People were talking, it's 2020, and I'm talking about it today, what Christians, every day you and I, did for the needy, for the sick, for the people suffering in 4th century of the world, a pandemic. Will they be talking about us in the year 2400, 2500? Will they be talking about how well American Christians, patriots, lovers of God and country, how we stood up, helped our brothers and sisters get through this as a nation, as a world, as a community, as a family? Or will they be saying they're hypocrites? They only care for themselves and their own little communities, their own little churches, their own little sects, their own little precincts, their own little groups. I hope not. I hope that the masks come down and Christians stand up and take care of each other, their neighbors that aren't like them. If your neighbor's not like you, love them the same. God commanded us to do that. He really did. Be safe and Godspeed, Cooper Family Homestead. Joe Blow, hey, what's up? And books can lie. That is true. Books can lie. Matter of fact, he brings up a good point. They'll pervert history to make Christians look bad. So it's really the actions. It's the actions that prevail history, that supersede. Because if we continue this, them changing history can't win, because we're here to say that it wasn't that way, and we remember that it wasn't that way because we continue doing it the right way. So thank you very much for that. Books can lie, and we just got to make sure that we supersede those books, that we live through it, we propagate the Christian lifestyle, the American way of life, to take care of one another and love one another. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate that very much. Chasing America, Cooper Family Homestead, David, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Hey, Corgills, what's up? I hope y'all doing fine. We just been sitting here talking about loving our neighbors, taking care of those that have been quarantined like you all. Hope y'all been checking on the Corgills. They've been quarantined. There's a lot of people, you know, that were sick and not really sure what's going on, you know. Like my dad, mom, they got stepmom, they got the test and they are positive. But until then, you still got to quarantine yourself because you don't want to be spreading it while you're waiting. So thank you, Corgills, for taking care of yourself and your family. Yeah, let's slaughter greed. That's good point. Let's slaughter greed. Greed is the, money is the love of money is the root of all evil. A lot of people say money is the root of all evil, but they misread the Bible there. It's for the love of money, which is greed. Exactly right. He said it right there. The love of money, which puts you into a situation where you want power and politicization. That's exactly what we said here today. That those things got to be pushed aside by Christians because we can't be that way. That's the human nature to be that way, but we got a gift in us that's going to let us get beyond that. So thank you very much. Key Farm, good to see you. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Absolutely, those are all things that Christians should be able to say that is full in their lives. I got to move my screen here a little bit, guys. I apologize. The sun's starting to come across and block and hitting my screen there. I'm really having a good time out here this morning with y'all, and I hope that, you know, the 17 people that have come in here, I hope you'll go back and watch the beginning sections because there was some really important things said. I just really had 3 big points today that in our social distancing, let's not forego relationships. So check in on your grandparents, check in on your some of your aunts and uncles may no longer have kids, great aunts and uncles, and they're not having people check on them. They're your family. Check on them. Your neighbors. You may have an elderly neighbor that their kids aren't checking on them, coming over and seeing them because of this illness, and they may be out of food. And I really don't. Do you want them having to go to Walmart grocery store at 97 years old, get on the highway, and put themselves at risk, and then put other people's at risk as well? So take care of your neighbors. So keep your relationships up during times of social distancing, and then caring for those that are. You got to care for those that are in need. And then who are we as Christians? Those are 3 things we talked about earlier. And I really want everyone to Coke and Twinkies this morning. Well, it's funny you say that because I do have my coffee, so no Coke, but there's caffeine, and I did eat a honey bun. So Raleigh Homestead, if she was in here this morning, she'd be laughing at me because, yes, I effectively have my Coke and my Twinkie, my Coke Zero and my Twinkie. But this is coffee, and I did have a honey bun. So, yes, I've got honey buns. I've got Twinkies. I've got Oreos. I didn't hoard them. I got enough. J Love Adventure says, greed is why my work is still operating. I would normally be at work right now, but I opted for the unpaid leave because I believe they are not essential. That's a good stand on principle. 100%. If you believe that you're going to do the right thing for your family, your country, your Lord, I'll back you 100%. Even if you're wrong, doing it for those reasons. If I believe it, maybe rephrase that. I'm going to back your beliefs, even if I disagree with you. So, I don't know anyone that has the corona, and you're fortunate. My stepmom just got tested positive. My dad has it. There aren't many in my area. I think in my county, there's only 2, I believe, that tested positive in my county. Of course, I live way out in the country here. Now, just next county over is Memphis. There's like 1,800, and there's been a couple deaths in Tennessee, but there's been like 1,800 confirmed cases in Shelby County, which is in Memphis. But New York City and those areas, they're like Italy. Italy Italy's been hit hard, 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 hard. So if you don't know anybody with it, you probably know people that have it, just haven't been tested, because a lot of people just, I've been sick all week, and I've been checking my temperature every day, and no temperature, but I went to the nurse practitioner 2 weeks ago just to make sure. So when I get back to work Monday, I'll go and just, if I'm still, if they think, I'll get tested. But I may have had it for the last 2 weeks. I didn't have a test, so there's no way to confirm I didn't have it. So people who know me may know someone who had COVID-19. So who knows? Thank you very much, Chasing America. I appreciate that. J Love Adventures, sorry to hear. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hey, Riley Homestead, good morning. Good to see you. We're talking about prayers and this pandemic, and Riley lost one of her favorite roosters, Adam. Raised him up. He's just been a wonderful addition to her family. It hit her pretty hard, so I want to keep Riley Homestead in your prayers. And if some people's has certain animals, on their farm that are like their pets or like their kids. And I understand that. My mom's dogs, are her grandkids, or actually they're like my brothers and sisters. Apparently, she loves them more. Oh, I'm just kidding. But we have Nero and we have Blackjack, and so if you've ever lost a pet, it's tough. It really is tough. Sean, Alaska, good morning, brother. Good to see you. Awesome, everyone. Yeah, make sure you're sharing prayers for everyone. Oh, no problem, Riley. I had an issue with my live stream this morning. The initial live stream, the phone software kept putting it in portrait, so I had to reboot and restart. So apologize for that. All right, I'm going to say a prayer for the things we talked about, and then we're just going to finish this up with just awesome chat and fellowship here. So I'm going to pray for us, and then we're going to continue on with this and just have a fun time, okay? We're going to, from here on out, after I pray, we're going to have a fun time. And if you have prayer requests or anything, just throw them out there. We'll continue to make sure we do that. Hey, Key Farm, good to see you, brother. So I'm going to do a prayer, and then we're going to continue on chatting, all right? Lord Father, thank you for this beautiful weather we have here in West Tennessee. We need it so much. Continue on with our home build. Please watch out for this country, Lord. Strengthen it through this time of worldwide crisis. May this country be the shining light to the world, because we are a God-based country, Lord. That we are founded on Christian principles. Let's continue those principles so that we can help the world get through this. We help our own neighbors get through this, Lord, that we shine our light as Christians to our neighbors, to our family, to our co-workers, to our YouTube family and community, Lord. Just please be with us. For those that have been afflicted, you know their needs, Lord. You know everything they need, that their heart, is yearning for, that pains them, Lord. Just take that away if you can. And all the people here in this chat room, bless their families, Lord. I love every one of them. I thank them for being here, and watch over Italy, Lord. We have Barbara from Italy, and we know how terrible it's been hit there. Just again, strengthen us, Lord, and thank you very much for the sacrifice on the cross. In Jesus' name I ask it all. Amen. Thank you all so much. So now we're just going to talk. I'm going to pick up my coffee here, and I think we're going to walk around a little bit. How about that? So make sure I didn't miss anything here. Thank you, Corgills. Amen. Amen. Looking a good milk cow is never easy. Losing a milk, oh yeah, I imagine. So yeah, you can have a milk cow that really isn't, your indoor pet, but they've been around for a while. I can imagine. If you ever watch Alaska: The Last Frontier, some of their cows they get really, really attached to. I love watching them, and they're a beautiful family. Let's see here. Prayers needed for my sister, brother-in-law, and nieces. They live in Jonesboro. I live not too far from Jonesboro. I have a lot of coworkers that work with me that live in Jonesboro. I texted a lot of them last night to check that they were okay, because where I work, I'm about as far from my work as Jonesboro is from my work. So a lot of the people I work with live in Jonesboro, but most of them they were all safe that I checked in with. A lot of them had damage. None of them had power. A lot of them, you know, had roof damage, but they were fine. The tornado went around their house, but yeah, a lot were hit. So yeah, thank you. I can't believe I forgot that. Thank you very much. Let's see here. Linda's back. Linda had to go to work, so she was with me this morning. We were talking before the live chat, and so Linda made it to work safely. Awesome, awesome. So thank you, Logan Kidder, about the bringing that up. Yeah, I checked on Riley last night to make sure she was okay. Making sure you're doing that. Check on everybody. Check on everybody. I'm gonna turn my chat back on my phone. Let's see here. There it is, right there. And let's see, top chat. There we go. All right. So now I think we're gonna walk around a little bit. Let me pick you all up. Okie dokie. Let's, you don't want to get too close to my face, do you? All right, let's walk around. On this beautiful Sunday morning, we know we've done our prayer request. We've gone over some of our Bible verses here. Continue to talk to one another. Look, y'all gotta look at these azaleas. Our azaleas are starting to bloom. Is that pretty? Look at those. We have pink ones, white ones. Look how beautiful that is. I hear the bees. There's bumblebees, carpenter bees. Y'all see the bumblebee? Can you see him? There we go. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that, man. Let's continue to walk around over here. See if we can see inside the house. See if we see any of the family in there. Hey, what's up? What's up? Oh, there's more bees. Let's see. White ones are just starting to bloom. Let's see what anybody's saying. So many. Come on, everybody. There's more. Hopefully we don't get any frost. A lot of times our azaleas don't last very long because of the frost. We'll get a late season frost. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And then these right here, these are lighter color. Normally we have the white blooming over there, and then this one's a little bit lighter colored. Almost a very light pink. Very, very, very unique. Let's see here. Yeah, love azaleas. We love our azaleas here. Let's see. Woo, such a beautiful day. It's got so many things to do. When the white azaleas start blooming, those are gorgeous. Yes, we love them. You can see the white ones are over there. I'll step back over here. You see them blooming. You know, y'all know we've got 40 acres here. We have our main home lot is right at 7 acres, and then we bought the property behind it. And the little area we live here, there's 9 homes that come in on a cul-de-sac, and everyone has, you know, between 4 and 7 acres. So we have a sense of community. You know, we have neighbors, yet we all have enough property to live a good country life. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. And what's really nice is our neighbor right here behind me has that pool with a waterfall and everything. And when I get up in the morning and sit on the front porch, I hear that waterfall going. It sounds so wonderful. So to my neighbors, I love the sound of your pool. And then they hear the sound of Nero barking. You see, can y'all see Nero right there? See Nero in the window? There's Nero. He's barking at us. Oh, there's Blackjack next to him too. Let's go say hi to Nero and Blackjack. Ooh, watch out for the mud here. Still wet. And you can see there's Nero and Blackjack. There's Nero and Blackjack. Where'd you go? Oh, Blackjack. Blackjack just getting over being neutered. He had a blood disorder or something, and he bled and bled and bled internally. And we've been, Starla has been nursing him for the past week. It was touch and go there for a little bit. We had to take him back to the vet 2 or 3 times. I really didn't, you know, video any of that, you know, because it was, you know, just Starla, you know, with her baby there. So, but yeah, he's doing better now though. He's doing a lot better. Let's all walk up to the, oh, look at that blue sky. Isn't that beautiful? Doing the same, but I live in the city. Oh yeah. Love the sound of your creek. Oh, I would love to have a creek. We have, you know, we have a pond We're blessed to have a pond, and of course when it rains like it does, we got lots of creeks that flow. Matter of fact, let's walk down the side over here. I'm gonna take y'all for a little walk on this beautiful Sunday morning, because just wonderful to spend time with everybody. And I know if y'all have things to do, you said there's other lives going on. Feel free to go head over there if you need to. But 15 people over here still, and I appreciate every single one of you. We're just gonna go have some fun. We're gonna walk around and see what's going on around the ridge. If I don't get my feet all sopped up, it rained like crazy with that storm last night. I forgot about that. So let's walk out here. You can see. Did a lot of yard work and a lot of work around the property this week. Oh, I love some good coffee on a good Sunday morning. Fellowship with friends, just awesome. Love it. We had a really good talk this morning. I really appreciate y'all for showing up. I believe this something we all need during this time is to make sure that we're taking care of one another, loving our family and friends, and those that we don't know that need us, because and then make sure that you're staying connected. It'll reconnect. Hey, there we go, guys. I was walking and it jumped off Wi-Fi and it had to reconnect. So that should fix. It should fix for y'all now. Is it good? It should be good now. Sorry about that. Yeah, I just walked off of Wi-Fi and got onto mobile signal, and it did that. So hopefully everyone's still here. Yep, 15 people still here. That's good. Walking up the property here. But anyway, if you have anything you want to talk about, questions about what's going on in our area with the family on the ridge. I did put honey supers on yesterday, so we'll be making honey, or the bees will be making honey right now, hopefully. We're gonna walk up by them. Here's our little pond waterfall. Wind's blowing too hard to be able to hear that right now. The overflow from the pond comes down and just sounds wonderful. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Let's see, 16 people still here. Ciao, Linda, grazie. Oh yeah. Linda, I love Italy, yeah. Barbara, you said that, ciao, Linda, grazie. It just reminded me of going to Italy. I love, Venice is cool and everything, it's very touristy and all that stuff, but going inland, I went to Udine and a bunch of other places in Italy, and just love the country. Beautiful country, love the people. Walking up here, let's walk up and see what the bees are doing. Let's not get stung today though, how about that? And you see the pond is full. Turn around this way. There we go. See the ducks we put out. And I got the little kayak out there. That kayak's the one from the Lessons from the Ridge where I showed my faith like Peter and jumped in and I sunk. So apparently I didn't have, I guess I did have the faith of Peter when he started to sink, but that was pretty funny. Have a great friend whose family comes from Italy. Oh yeah. Thank you, Linda. Let's walk up here. I had a big dogwood tree right there, and the dogwood tree died this year. It didn't make it through the winter, so I got the tractor, and so now we don't have a tree in the middle of our pasture here. So maybe I have to plant one. Let me walk around here. It's so muddy, so muddy. Yep. It's nice having a tractor when you have property, because there's so many things that you just can't do with the horsepower of a, well, look there. This is how much it rained last night. So that storm that came through, that filled that up. Oh, I got to see how much rain we got, because all that water was just from last night. And those ruts right there, it rained a lot. And this is the top of the ridge, so it didn't run into that. Ugh. All right, let's go over and check the bees. Bees are doing well. I was really scared that the wind was going to take the bees out. Y'all can see the bees right here. These are well, here you go. You can see how much it rained last night, because this was the honey feed, or the syrup feeders, and all that water, there is 1.5 inches. It rained 1.5 inches last night, just in that storm that came through, because this was empty. This was, I was letting the bees eat all the syrup out of it. And now we have 1.5 inches of water in there. Is that crazy? That was just in the storm that came through last night. That was rainwater. I left this out here for the bees to clean up. That's crazy. Here's some honeycomb. This broke off. No, the ants are taking it now. This is beautiful honeycomb. I'll save that wax. I'll save that wax. You can see some honey in it right there. That broke off when I was putting the honey frames in yesterday. This is fun today. You know, we had our lessons from the ridge this morning, and now we're just out enjoying this beautiful day and God's creation. So I thank you all that are sticking around. It's just fun. We'll walk over here to the bees, and you can see the bees are doing well. I don't want to get stung, but now what we got here is this box right here. This box right here, that is frames of honey being made. It had the feeders in it, and I took the feeders out and I put frames of drawn comb, and they are making honey for us right now. Right now. So, woohoo! Loving it. Can't wait to have some honey from the Ridge. Macon Ridge Farm. This is what we call our farm here. Macon Ridge Farms. Walking up to the barn. Let's walk out in the woods here a little bit. So we got some traps just to keep the predators away from the chickens. There's the woods. Such a beautiful day. Let's see. We got that storm in Ohio too. Yeah, it went from like you know, Chicago down to Texas. It was a huge band of storms. That's for sure. I'm gonna come up here and let the chickens out this morning. I'm sure they went out after all this rain too, as their chicken run's probably just a big old mess. I'll walk around this way. Walk around this way. 12 people still in here. I appreciate y'all walking around, spending your Sunday morning with me. I know most churches are closed down, so you didn't get a chance to go to church this morning. So we had our own little church, didn't we? Had a few Bible verses and good things. If you didn't get a chance to watch the first part of today, go back and watch that if you can. There's some good things I think were talked about this morning. I appreciate everyone. Walk in here. See if we can get the chickens let out. Maybe give them a little sweet feed. Or a little scratch grains, I mean. All right. Beautiful day. We've got so much work to do on the barn up here. Hey, guys, look how muddy and messy it is. Y'all want out? I bet you do. Oh, muddy, muddy, muddy. All right, come on out, guys. Come on out, muddy girls and guys. Come on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on. It's muddy. Oh, look how the mud you guys got to walk in. That's terrible. You need to clean this stuff out. Find you some bugs. Find you some bugs. What's up, big guy? That rooster is getting big. He has hardly any spurs. He's just grown big. And there's Big Daddy, but I think he's going to be bigger than Big Daddy. And there's Gertie. She's a sweetie. Oh, actually, she's not a sweetie. She's pretty mean, but she loves us. She's mean to the chickens, but she loves us. I gotta get this set up so they can get back in. All righty. Love us some chickens up here on the ridge. What's up, guys? Y'all want some food? All right. Yeah, we have a big mix. So we have Americana. We have Barred Rock, Silky, and a lot of them are a mix between Barred Rock. So there's a Silver Lace Wyandotte. And then a lot of these are Americana Silky mixes, believe it or not, and Americana Barred Rock mixes. So we've raised 2 sets of chicks here. So 2/3 of those were chicks we've raised. Let's get some grains. So we have some scratch mix, some cracked corn, and the girls are coming running. Hey guys, girls. Hey girls. Hey girls. Come running. Hey girls. Oh yeah. What's up, big boy? What's up, big boy? There's a little big bird. Yeah, that's a young rooster there. We have two young roosters right here with the black, copper ran tails, and they're Americana mix. They're like Big Daddy there. And then these two big roosters back there. Got way too many roosters, 5 roosters. So we'll be having some chicken dinner soon. Sunflower seeds, yeah, there's sunflower. We had the scratch mix, got sunflower seeds and millet and a bunch of other things they love. And of course, cracked corn. This is really a treat. This is not their main staple. We've got layer feed that they eat. Of course, when we let them out free ranging all day, they get all the good bugs. What makes their yolks so yellow and rich, is really the natural feed from free ranging, I believe. Put this back up here. Yeah, because in the wintertime, before I started trapping all the predators, I just couldn't leave them out. And the eggs tasted like store-bought eggs, because they were just in their run and they weren't getting out free ranging. And then we started letting them free range again. And oh my goodness, the eggs taste so wonderful. So I am a total advocate for free ranging chickens if you can. We lock ours in at nighttime. And if we're home with them, we let them free range in the daytime. If we're both working, we don't let them free range because our predators. Of course, I've been taking care of the predators, so maybe we'll have a little less problem with that. You see them? Walk on down to the pond here. Let's see, we've got 9 people. A lot of people have left on, heading towards their other live streams and their morning routines, getting out, taking care of their families and stuff. So I appreciate everybody. We'll walk on down here to the pond, then we'll probably let y'all go. Just had a wonderful day today. I appreciate y'all spending time with me out on here on the ridge. You almost watched me fall on my butt. Woohoo! It's so slick and wet. So, just a wonderful day. You see the pond. All right. So to the 8 people that are still here, I sure appreciate you. And then everyone who's came and went this morning, y'all are awesome. We had at least 20 in here at a time. So thank y'all so much for coming out. Thank you, Corgills. Appreciate you. It is beautiful out today. It's just a wonderful day. So please love one another. Take care of your neighbors. Take care of the ones that are around you that are needing people right now. And just shine a light at the world to show you, if you're a Christian, that you shine the light of Jesus in the things you do and say. Please do that. So until next time, I hope everyone has a wonderful day, a blessed day, and go RidgeLife. Oh, Brother Jack Gresham. Hey, sorry, man. Oh, yeah, go to church online at 10:45. Take care, Brother Jack.